it looks as though refugees are skipping the housing waiting list. How does that make you feel?
Well, my greater concern is with illegal migration, and it's why I'm very keen to see the Rwanda scheme up and running so that people who don't have a right to be in this country are moved swiftly, because I think that will lead to a decline in the numbers trying to get in. So that my priority would be dealing with illegal migration. When you're dealing with legal migrants, it seems to me that if they are refugees, they're genuine refugees, they have come from war-torn zones, we have a responsibility to them. That's why we've given them refugee status. But we must treat them well but not unfairly against our British compatriots. Now, with housing lists, there is a system for determining need, which takes into account a number of factors, including your existing housing, the quality of your housing, the number of people in the property, and so on. And I think that refugees should be treated fairly with people who aren't refugees, rather than jumping the list, so to speak.
OK, now, frankly, this situation might not have happened if we'd been able to build more social housing. And our economics and business editor said that there is roughly 24,000 net fewer social housing pretty much year on year, and has been for a good number of years. Why have we ended up in this situation, and why do councils now suddenly have the money to build homes and buy homes for people who, well, they've just got it?
Yes, I mean, I absolutely agree with you on the broad programme of planning. We have an absolutely hopeless planning system that has needed fundamental reform for a long time. It's based on a 1940s socialist approach to building. We need to build more houses so that we can go back to being a home-owning democracy, as Margaret Thatcher was achieving. We're now finding the percentage of people owning their own home is declining. The age at which people buy their first home is rising. And we find that there's a shortage of social housing as well. And those are problems that come from our failure to build enough new properties. And that's something that I think it's a pity that this government hasn't dealt with.
Can I ask you, a lot of emails coming in now from people saying to me that it looks as though our politicians, so in the round, so this is Labour and the Tories, aren't putting British people first. Are you putting British people first?
Well, I'm joining GBNews, and GBNews puts British people's first. That's, you know, I put my voters first. I'm a democratic politician that I'm responsible and answerable to the people of North East Somerset. Now, I absolutely accept that we have a duty to refugees and we should treat them well. But the point you make about a lady with a child who's been on a housing list for a long time, needing that security of housing, I think it should be done on the fair system that exists for determining need, and that whether you're a refugee or not should not change your place on a waiting list. You shouldn't be disadvantaged by not being a refugee if you have a need for social housing.
Jacob, thank you very much. And I've just got time to talk to you a little bit about what you're going to be delighting the viewers of GB News and our listeners, and indeed the nation. We're international. Jacob, you're going global. What can we expect from Jacob Rees-Mogg right here in the hot seat on GB News?
Well, I hope that we will have interesting and informative conversation, very much led by what viewers are interested in. As I say, I'm a democratic politician, and I'm responsive to what my employers think, and my employers are the great British people.